In this video, I'm going to strip out the primary side of my 750cc Triumph twin engine from the 70s. Most of what I find will hold true for a lot of this style of engine. So I'm going to say which tools I've used and which special tools I needed. So if you're following it along, you should find this a useful video. I'm going to try to make sure I do short 10-minute or so videos of all the steps I go through in stripping this engine down and then eventually rebuilding it. I've got a T140V Bonneville. It's a 75 build year for a 76 model year. It's been re-imported from America and it's not quite in as good a condition as I hoped, but you know, I'd have to check everything anyway. I've had some problems with the cylinder head, and I'll come back to that in some later video. But my intention is to turn it into a resto mod, desert sled, street scrambler type thing. When I imported it, it only took me 4 weeks to get it registered, and I will put a link to the method that I use, which I've got in a video. So I'm quite excited. I've got a registration number for it. But I want to be riding this in the spring, and I need to make sure I keep the pace up, so that's why I'm working on the engine now. My main goal was stripping the engine out. It seemed to have all of its own gears, the clutch was stuck, what do you expect? Bottom end didn't seem too bad. However, there's a thing called a sludge trap. Now this bike has had some care and attention to the engine. That care and attention's actually caused me the problem with the top end. Go back and have a look. And there have been some interesting things that have come up along the way just with the top end. However, I don't know if they ever looked at the bottom end whatsoever. I don't intend to replace every bearing, but I do intend to replace all the seals and make sure all the gaskets are right so that it's at least a little bit oil tight. There are a couple of mods I'm going to do along the way. So let's swing this engine round and crack on with the primary side. Before I start messing about with the bits that rotate in here, I'm going to do something to protect the conrods. I've had a little bit of criticism and I fully accept it. What you don't want to do is get nicks and scratches on your conrods, because they can be the source of failure in the future. So I'm going to make sure I do look after them along the way. Not perfect, but I'm sure that that will do the job. Just got to make sure they don't get stuck and trapped down inside. And as for all the bits of fluff, I'm actually not going to have these here, and I am going to have cleaned inside when I put it back together. So let's not sweat about that at the moment. The primary should have oil in it, and there is a drain plug, although I doubt that'll get everything out. And I love the sizes of these old British tools, don't you? 7/32. Now, there is a bit of rust, so do need to just give it a little bit of a hand. That should be okay. Let's see. Oh, there was oil. The primary capacity should be 150 millilitres, and there is some drillings that go through into the main crankcase that maintain that level, so I would expect it to be about there, as I did drain the sump originally. Obviously if the holes are blocked it may be fuller, but looking at that it looks like we're on the right track. So while that was draining, and it does look like it's about the right amount, I've assembled the tools that I think I might need. Now this may seem excessive, however, I think I'll probably end up using all of these. We've already seen what I did with the 7/32. That's 1/4 for two of the Allen headed screws. These are 3/16 for a lot of the other ones. A 1/2 inch for the two generator bolts that come through, something to prod dirt out of the different parts where they may be. I'm bound to need a soft hammer and probably a small hammer. May have to do a bit of prising, and you may say, well, hang on, isn't that either a seal or a bearing puller? Well, that comes in very handy using this section for taking off the little inspection covers, which I'll do next. And I find you can get the right angle on, and if need be, use a spanner on this bit, but frequently it's enough. Yeah. And the one on top. That might take a little bit more doing, but I'll soon have it off. That one was for adjusting your clutch. And this one is for setting your timing. And the one on top is for setting the slack on your primary chain. I'll tend to work my way towards the middle, and everyone always seems to start with these. 1/2 inch. Like everything else on this bike, they don't seem to be monstrously tight. There's a washer there. Now these are actually copper washers. When you're putting it back, you need to be aware of that, because they actually are for sealing as well. So don't just bang any old steel washer in here. There we go. Now I can anneal these, or I could even use new ones, but I'd probably anneal the new ones too. The next two I'll do at this end, I'll work my way towards the middle. And these are two larger ones, these are the 1/4. Interesting how they use different ones. I've given it a bit of a scrape round, and I'll just... Now there is a modern tendency for everyone to use impact guns, but if you do that when you're stripping a very old engine like this, you can't get a feel for what threads are a problem. And if you do find threads that are a problem, you can make a note and fix them before you start putting it back together. That way it saves a lot of time. So just loosen that one off. Loosen that one off. Now what I'll do is that actually feels really nice, so I'm not going to worry about that one. And the same with that one. That feels quite good. I'll move on to these now, and then work my way backwards and forwards. Now these have obviously been replaced. If they've still got the cheese head screws, you'd perhaps use an impact driver first of all, but this should be fine. The dirtiest one, and it still goes in. Don't want to scratch that too much. So all the threads feel quite good, so I can whip them out now. I realised a lot of old hands will have been saying, I've missed a tool and missed a step. Well, That's the plug that gives you the adjuster for the primary chain, and I probably should have took it out sooner. And it's a 7/16. And I suspect it will also drain a bit. Told you. Typically the stands in the way. Let's do that for it to drip out for a bit. You may be wondering why I haven't got rid of this altogether. Well, when I pop the front of this forward, there will be some more oil, and I might as well try and catch it as not. Now what I'm going to do is just try and pull this forward a little bit, just so that it gets any more of the drops off. It might need a little bit of persuading. Definitely coming loose now. And we'll try not to prise anything too much, but a little bit here and there doesn't do any harm. You can see it's dripping out here as well. Let's just put a cloth under. You can hear by the sound it's all loose now, and I'm going to leave that to drip for a little while. Go and have a cup of coffee. Now last time when I was taking the barrels off, I said it was a Howard Carter moment, and I actually didn't know I'd found the treasure of alloy barrels and Asoverka pistons. I wonder if this is a Howard Carter moment. Am I going to find anything that's really exciting in here? Now the seal here is the thing that holds it on. Oh, and these can be bent as well. Oh, keeps coming a bit at a time. Well, nothing untoward that I can see at the moment. Doesn't look too bad. I've not even got lots of sludge down here. I wonder if these clutch discs will all be reasonably new ones. I suspect not. As it stands, I see nothing really untoward. Frequently these can be quite chewed up. They have had seen some use, but they're not necessarily destroyed. This tab washer looks like it's been reused, but again that's not a big deal. Is there a crack there in this stator resin? Looks like there is. And that doesn't look too groovy along there. I'm not sure what's gone on there in the past, but for a Triumph twin that doesn't look like a bad primary side set of bits and pieces, so I'm quite pleased so far. And the last one of these that I opened up, I realised had been welded, because if you drop one of these on the side, frequently the footrest smacks through the primary cover, and the previous one looked great from the outside but had been welded in a repair here. They've done quite a good job. I did reuse it. Bang on time, there's the clock. There's no obvious damage to this, so I'm going to put that to one side to clean up, and then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take off the stator in the next video, because I want to try and keep them to 10 or 15 minutes and going through all the way through the stripping and building of this engine. So if you've come to the playlist late, they'll all be there. If you haven't, I'm afraid you'll have to wait until next week, but do make sure that you subscribe, because I'm going to keep pushing these out. I want this bike ready for the spring.